Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus desk. I am Taylor Gattoni with Nicole Buckman.
Hello. How's it going?
Hello. It's going pretty well.
I know it's a busy day.
Oh, yes.
Election day.
It's very busy. I'm sure people are heading out to the polls, casting their votes.
Yes, definitely. Lots to do, lots to talk about today. And on Studio 10, of course, Tuesdays always means that it's Take Me Home Tuesday.
Yes.
So we're going to have a furry friend from the Capital Area Humane Society join us, and who's up for adoption, that's looking for a forever home.
Yeah.
So you could bring home one of those cats. I think last time we had a cat, last time was a puppy. There's always so many cute little animals.
I know, and then I always want to adopt them, but I'm like, Taylor, no, you can't adopt all the animals.
I know. So it'll be fun to have them come in. Plus, especially with, 1 week ago, it was Halloween. And I think we were all excited for Halloween. And the next day was like Christmas. Yes. And, all of this, the differences with changing the holidays and the money that we saw Christmas decorations, back in August, I think.
Yeah.
There's always this rush of what's next, and it can be overwhelming.
It's slow down just a little bit.
Yeah, so Claudia talked with a few economists and people in marketing, and talk a little bit about why this is they're kind of having a little bit of a roundtable discussion, and kind of why this is a thing, and maybe how to slow down your brain so you don't feel as overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. I know I do sometimes. As much as I love all the holidays, it can be overwhelming. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that, but on the same note as the holidays, believe it or not, do you know what happened 20 years ago on this day?
What year are we in again? Okay,
Yes, it would have been 2003. 2003.
You're right, 2003. 20 years. Jeez. Yeah. It's like a second Monday today for me.
So November 7th, 2003. It was a big thing in history.
I was youngin'. So
all right, well, I'll tell you. The movie Elf came out.
Was that when it came out?
Yes, 20 years ago.
That's when it came out?
Yes, 20 years ago to this day. Buddy the Elf.
I'm wearing the green for it.
Yes.
There we go. Okay.
Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Son of a nutcracker. Yep. Yeah. 20 years ago. So, to celebrate... I hope you find your dad. So, to celebrate, this big milestone...
20 years ago?
Yeah, I know.
Gosh.
We're reflecting on the movie and sharing you some tidbits of the making of the movie. It's for our Studio 10 tidbit, we do weekly. And also, one of the iconic parts of the movie, of course, is Buddy the Elf's, combine those.
Quite a day.
Breakfast. His infamous breakfast that he eats.
Because his food groups, again, you got to have all of the sugar and
the candy, corn, all of that. So we're going to be eating a little bit of that to celebrate. So that means we're going to be eating spaghetti with maple syrup and chocolate sauce and
such nutritious stuff.
Yes, but it'll be fun to talk a little bit about the movie, reminisce, because I think it's one of those movies that is such a part of our culture.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So years ago, I'm still stuck on that.
I know. And then, of course, ahead of Veterans Day, we're going to have the American Legion come in and talk a little bit about how you can commemorate Veterans Day and also what they're doing for veterans and their families this time of year.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of fun and a lot of great things coming up on Studio 10.
Yes,
Thank
definitely.
you, Nicole.
Yeah, take it easy and bye, Taylor. Bye, find Justin.
Oh, I hope I find him soon. Anyway, that was fun. If you want to see all of the fun coming up on Studio 10, you can see them at 3 o'clock in just under 55 minutes. You can see all of that delicious Buddy the Elf breakfast, too. I wonder please leave a comment. I want to know how many people would be interested in trying that type of breakfast. Michael Mitchell says, have a great day. Thank you. And Chris, hi from East Lansing. Mm-hmm. Hope you guys are also having a great day. But yes, if you want to check out Studio 10, there are their socials at WILX Studio 10. Now, Justin, you were telling me earlier, you will eat anything.
Anything. Yep.
Anything. No matter how out there it seems, he will eat anything.
I used to have a weird thing about cherry tomatoes. I don't know why. I just wasn't a huge fan of them, but I grew out of of all the foods, right? And it was that was the only thing I wouldn't eat. But I've gotten past that, and if you pretty much put anything in front of me, I'll try it. Today on Studio 10, we're going to prove that. Should be a fun time.
It's going to be very sugary.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's no sugar crash or anything like that. You'll get a boost of energy, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll be riding that all the way through the 4 o'clock show as well, I'm sure. So that'll be good.
That'll be a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was trying to tie something in with like the sweetness of it, but we kind of have some sweet-looking temperatures in the forecast. Nothing too cold yet.
Yeah, coming up, I think we get into next week. We will. It's a quiet stretch though too, and that's pretty sweet if you ask me. Yeah. Tomorrow's chance for rain might be the only one we have for a while, and so a nice dry stretch of November weather coming our way, which means less active pattern to worry about, which is good news.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, no snow for Buddy the Elf quite yet, but. I always love that scene where he's making the snowballs and it's just
whipping them up
so fast.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait a while, I think, to see those. I don't think we have any flakes working into our forecast, certainly in the next 10 days, and probably longer than that, because when you see what we've got by the end of this forecast, we're actually heading towards a warmer stretch next week than we have this week, and there's not even any flakes in the forecast this week either, and so stands to reason we shouldn't have any snow at least for the next 2 weeks moving forward, but of course we'll see how it all plays out.
Of course. Well, let's take a look outside because right now, earlier I was going to say we saw a lot more clouds, but you are starting to see some blue sky.
Yeah, breaking up a little bit, and so that's certainly nice to see out there. This is right out our back door, by the way. Meridian Company Skycam Network here at News 10. South Lansing has got that view for you right there. Temperatures have climbed to 47 degrees. I don't think we go too much warmer than this today. They've been pretty steady at that number for the past few hours, and we could thank the wind direction for that now. Now, yesterday it was out of the south-southwest, and it was breezy yesterday too. But now it's died down a bit, still 10 miles per hour, but it's out of the northwest, so we're bringing in some of that cooler air. You can see the direction here. Again, not nearly as strong. Yesterday we had a few gusts top 40 miles per hour across mid-Michigan. Those gusts today, when they get up to around 15 to 17 miles per hour is all we have. Steady winds are between 5 and 10, and you can see what that's done to temperatures. So if you're near places like Hillsdale, Adrian, you manage mid-50s today, but elsewhere near North Jackson, you might get to 50 degrees. I think most of us are going to be in those upper 40s today for our highs, and we're not going to see much in the way of temperature movement here moving forward for the rest of the day. Though you notice the warm air is not that far off to the south. It's almost 70 in Indy, a place which will hit that number today, and it might get close to 80 in St. Louis, but you see the colder temperatures off to our north. That bubble is what we're tapping into today, and so it's the battle clash between the cold and warm air that we typically see in November, and like we typically see in November, we're on the losing end of it, getting into the cold instead of the warm, which again, not too far off to the south, but that's where it kind of stays. Now, the numbers are going to stay pretty steady for the next few hours and then slowly taper back. I do think we go back to the 30s overnight tonight. It's probably mid-30s by tomorrow morning, and so not as much a concern for frost freeze. I think that becomes more evident as we head out towards the weekend when the temperatures cool down further. But the satellite radar has been quiet all day. Clouds, as you see here, are finally starting to thin out just a little bit. There is going to be another system that works in. The one from yesterday has moved off and away into the northeast, but a second one out towards Minnesota right now that you see there, that works in tomorrow, and that'll bring us the rainfall opportunities that we'll see in the hour by hour. Nothing today, and again, you see the clouds continue to break up heading into this evening and overnight, but they will return late, and then by tomorrow we see the rain starting to slowly work in. I don't think it's an all-day rainfall, but we'll have scattered showers about the area.
I was going to say, north of it, you're seeing that big, like, little patch there go through, and it's missing us.
Yeah, we get a lot of the system tomorrow. Will be north in the state. We still get some of the scattered showers, but you also notice up there's a bit of mixed precipitation and some snow. Notice the temperature 2 p.m. in Alma is still holding on to the 30s, whereas we get into the 40s. I think further north in the state, they might get into a mix of rain and snow, but it's all going to be rain here. We're staying warm enough so we don't have to worry about any of those flakes. By the time we hit the evening, maybe a thunderstorm or two flares up. You see some of the heavier pockets of rain here. Not expecting any severe weather of any kind, but we could maybe hear a rumble of thunder, see a little lightning tomorrow night. After that, we'll see things start to clear back up, and we get into Thursday starting under the clouds and numbers in the 30s. We'll have a chance to climb to near 50, as you see before we lost the temps off the map there as we get too far out. But Thursday afternoon should be a sunny one before it sets, and so that'll be good news, but it probably is the warmest we'll get headed through the weekend because the numbers are going to cool back down on the other side. Today's high is 49. The clouds, again, they decrease this afternoon, and you see the 10-day forecast does bring us back to 50 Thursday, but it's a mainly dry stretch, so that's good. We just have got the few rain showers again tomorrow. Maybe a rumble of thunder towards the evening, but after that, smooth sailing. We got dry weather for maybe a week or so after the showers Wednesday, and so that'll give us a nice chance to dry out. Certainly no drought concerns right now, and so that's not a problem to have that. We do see lows in the weekend. Friday night, Saturday night, they go down near and below freezing, so there are those kind of frost freeze opportunities out there. Most folks probably don't have any more plants outdoors that are in the growing season element, but if you do, you want to make sure those are covered, or at this point maybe brought inside. Although the temperatures next week are going to warm back up, and so maybe they'd be all right if they were out next week, but they won't want to be there this weekend. And so beyond our Veterans Day on Saturday, we should get back into the 50s next week, and you see that 59 next Thursday. Can't rule out someone getting to near 60 degrees by the time we get there, which is good. The last thing we could look at is just the trend instead of the 10-day forecast. Since only Wednesday has the rain and the rest are dry, this is kind of a way to visualize what your high temps are over the next 10 days. Again, normal highs are in the low 50s this time of year, 51 today, but it will be 50 tomorrow and Thursday. And that average high dips to 49 on Friday. And as we've been mentioning this week, it doesn't come back up to 50 until we get to late March. And so it'll be a while until we get back to there. But even though the averages are going below 50 on Friday and beyond through the rest of the year, our actual temperatures around here are going to go the other direction. And so that's good news. And we'll look forward to hopefully being able to enjoy some decent weather with that next week. Right now, the forecast looks pretty good for mid to late next week especially. And so we're not all done with the nice weather yet just because we're here getting into mid-November. We still have plenty of days we can enjoy. Anytime you top 50 this time of year, you're doing pretty well. And we'll do that all of next week, it looks like. Might even be able to top 60 once or twice.
Great to get outside for a walk.
Yeah, for sure. We'll keep our fingers crossed on that forecast. Obviously, Thanksgiving going to be coming up pretty soon. That Thursday at the end of this 10-day is a week from Thanksgiving. And so that's coming up pretty quick here, about 17 days or so away, 16 days out. We're going to be getting there, but, enjoy some of the nice weather we get before then. Hopefully the pleasant trend continues into Thanksgiving, and then we won't have too much to worry about for holiday travel and everyone moving around.
I know, especially when people are hitting the roads, not just, taking any flights. You definitely want to be careful, especially with all the construction projects going around. Yeah, there are a lot happening, and, that's going to be, of course, a continued thing we see even into the holiday season. And so great place not only to check for traffic updates and your forecast is the First Alert Weather app, which, of course, you can get all of those updates that we like to talk about. Daily video updates are put out several times a day. In addition, we've got your hour-by-hour forecast, your radar, whether it's current, future, or past, and everything else you need to know with hour-by-hour forecast to plan your day ahead. And they're all right there in the palm of your hand. It's very user-friendly. It can follow your location if you allow it to do so. Just a wonderful product that we're striving to make better and better each and every day. And to find it, all you do is search WILX Weather. It's in Google Play and in the App Store. And like the best things in life, it is free. And so easy for you to get and easy for you to plan your day. And we love to be able to help you out with that. And so First Alert Weather app's a great place to go. Oh, yes. I know yesterday you were talking about a little bit of some storms that were just passing through, nothing crazy. They were scattered. And as Justin was talking during his forecast, I actually, checked my phone real quick. And what do you know? I got a First Alert Weather app notification saying lightning detected. And I was like, all right, there you go, Justin. Okay. Exactly. Yeah, they run, and especially, whether you're traveling somewhere or staying around home, because, there are days, and it does happen even in our area, if you maybe are traveling to Jackson or you're traveling to St. John's and you live in Lansing, or if you live in one of those other places, you're traveling to Lansing, the weather may be different. We have days where there's pouring rain and storms in Jackson, but not in Lansing, and the opposite is also true, and that certainly can happen. So First Alert Weather app can help you determine where that is going to happen, when it's going to happen, and you get those real-time updates too. All right. Well, thank you, Justin. Yeah, one more time, we'll just take another quick little look at the 10-day temperature trend. Yeah. There you go. Just beautiful temperatures. Well, we get chilly this week, but I'm looking at at next week. That's where my eyes are going. The 59 is nice. If I pop back over to the actual 10-day itself here, again, you can see a lot of this stretch is dry. It's just really tomorrow we deal with the rain. And so we've got that going for us moving forward. Pretty good looking forecast, honestly, for the time of year. Anytime you have a long dry stretch in November, we appreciate that, and the wind isn't super strong either. Yesterday, the windiest day that we've had in a while, and I don't think we see any winds like that work in, at least in the next 10 days. But next week, it'll be southerly again, and you see what it does with the temperatures when that does happen. Southwest wind really can help us out. This time of year, especially in the fall and in the spring, it's the same thing, but that wind direction is paramount versus the winter and the summer, when in the winter it's usually cold no matter where the wind's coming from. Yeah. Summer, it's usually warm no matter where the wind's coming from. In the spring and fall, it plays a bigger part, and so if you see the wind direction on our forecasts, that can really give you the tail of the tape as far as what you can expect and where the temperatures are headed in the long term. Well, you guys do such a great job, all of you, the whole meteorologist team, and just explaining and breaking down what all the different weather patterns mean, because it's not just one model you look at. Obviously, there are several different models to give you kind of a better idea and kind of see the differences between them. But Justin and I were talking yesterday, because I was like, okay, can you break down the El Nino trend for me?
Sure, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
so we were just talking about, the basic wind direction, and saying, okay, if it's coming from the south, then the wind's going from the south to the north.
Sure.
It's warmer in the south. You'll get more of the warm air, and vice versa. So, I mean, it's always great. I'm always so fascinated hearing you guys talk. I'm like, wow, that was really interesting. Or like, I can't believe you guys just go on and on about that.
Well, and the funny thing about the weather models too is while they're usually pretty good, sometimes they're really not that good, and that's why it's our job to kind of decipher. We understand the area, right? We've lived and forecasted in this area for a while. I've been here now 5 years, and we've got some Mets on staff who've been here a lot longer time than that a lot of you at home know and love. And of course, over that time, learning how to forecast for the area. Just because a model says something might happen in our weather models we look at for guidance on our forecast does not mean that that's exactly how it plays out. We have to be able to determine, okay, when is this model going to be good at what it's doing and when's it going to be bad? Obviously, that can be easier said than done, but we do the best that we can with what we've got, and I know that the weather team does a really good job with being very thorough in how we break down the forecast for everyone. We take a lot of pride in that, and so hopefully everyone at home is able to get good forecasts from us using all of that information.
Oh, yeah. And then one more time, just download the First Alert Weather app completely free off of Google Play and the Apple App Store. In case anything changes, you can always stay up to date on there. Or, of course, tune in, and you can watch our meteorologists do it.
If you want to,
more entertaining. There you go.
Yeah, if you want as thorough a breakdown as you're going to get, that's the best way to do it right there, too. But First Alert Weather app, very good alternative when you don't have the time.
That is true. All right, well, thank you, Justin.
Of course, yeah.
So stay updated with the weather, but we also want to update you on what's coming up during Mid-Michigan Matters on First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news today. So coming up during Mid-Michigan Matters, oh boy, we saw a statistic that says increased car thefts happen around the month of November. So, of course, we are within the first week of November 7th today. And as we go into the holidays, you may be traveling. You may go into different areas with your car. Even parking, that's always a challenge. So just knowing your surroundings and, making sure that you don't have any valuables. I know people are probably traveling with gifts, especially around the holidays, so just being careful and mindful about that. We're bringing in an officer from the Lansing Police Department to talk about why there's an uptick in car thefts around this time of year, and more importantly, what to do to protect yourself and really limit the car thefts happening, to your car. So we have that coming up. And then News 10 at 5 will share how area families will have an opportunity to learn about saving for college during a free community informational session hosted by the Michigan Department of Treasury. Coming up on News 10 at 5:30, November is Epilepsy Awareness Month. It's a condition that affects over 450,000 children in America. Epilepsy causes reoccurring seizures that can happen out of the blue, including at school. Yet fewer than half of U.S. states require school personnel to undergo seizure recognition and first aid training. So we take a look at the training in and for schools that could make a huge difference, whether you're a student, faculty, even a parent walking in, anyone. So we will have more on that coming up on News 10 at 5:30. Coming up on News 10 at 6, Riley Connell will be live in Jackson, where voters will decide on the city's mayor and multiple seats on city council. So we have all of that coming up during Mid-Michigan Matters and our 90 minutes of news today. But of course, we have our reporters in the field. We also have Justin Kent, Tanaya Jordan, Aaron Bowling, and Deanna Giles. So we are going to send it to them. All right, thank you, Deanna, Justin, Aaron, and Tanaya for sharing what you have coming up. Any last words of wisdom you want to give, Justin?
I don't have many words of wisdom. I still got a ways to go until I gather all that information. So
right.
I'll keep learning from
Honest.
my elders and try to make myself better every day, right?
There you go. That's all we can do. Keep learning, keep growing. But yes, you can catch more information with Studio 10 coming up in just over half an hour, followed by First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. And of course, you can always catch Justin there as well.
Yep, very excited. Looking forward to it.
All right, have fun eating that spaghetti, by the way.
Yeah, we'll have to report back. You don't want to miss that at 3 o'clock.
All right, have a great day, everyone.